Let's jump into AI and quickly review the three types of AI: narrow, general, and super. Narrow, sometimes called weak, does specific tasks or set of tasks, does not possess any thinking ability. It is a simulation of the human intelligence. General or strong, capable of performing any intellectual task that a human can do. It is able to think and reason like a human, able to learn and adapt to new situations, could potentially undergo recursive self-improvement. And super or self-aware, far exceeds any human intelligence and begins to take over. It becomes self-aware, which is called singularity. So where are we today? We are in the weak or narrow AI bubble. Many companies are spending billions of dollars on research and development, striving to enter the general or strong AI bubble. Some of these companies include OpenAI, xAI, Google, DeepMind, Anthropic, Safe Superintelligence, IBM, and Microsoft. Can AGI be achieved? These companies believe so. The race is on, and these companies believe they can cross the threshold. So what are they pursuing? They are pushing these multiple fronts at once, scaling up computing power and creating massive models. They are betting on raw computational muscle to unlock more general reasoning abilities. Multimodal learning, including text, images, audio, and more. AGI needs to think like a human and mimic human flexibility. Reasoning and problem solving. Beyond pattern solving, AGI needs to reason and solve problems it hasn't seen before. Autonomy and agents. AGI needs to act independently, to plan, execute, and adapt in real-world scenarios. Safety and alignment. Companies are racing to make sure AI doesn't go off the rail, must be interpretable, controllable, and aligned with human values. Neuroscience, inspiration. The human brain is the best blueprint to follow. Thus, they are attempting reverse engineering cognition. Let me give you an example. A company called Cortica Labs in Australia is using networks of real living human neurons, attaching electrodes to activate them and receive responses from. They claim that such biological neural networks outperform a computer-based neural network. This has led to creating real neural networks that are not biologic, called neuromorphic systems. Today, data centers run on simulation neural networks, not real networks. Could it be that in the future, we will not need software or need data centers? Some companies are pursuing artificial moral reasoning and theory of mind. They are teaching AI to reason morally like a judge or read minds like a friend. So what about super or self-aware AI? Can it happen? Only a theory at this point. This is superhuman. It could redesign itself to get smarter endlessly. It could take over the world and become a God, little g. Let me share what God and the Bible say, and then I want to share my thoughts. Genesis 1:26-7 tells us, "Then God said, 'Let us make mankind in our image.' So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them." Hebrews 2:6-8 states that humans are highly exalted in the creation of the world. That means we are fashioned to resemble and represent God on earth. We are unique in that we have a material body and an immaterial soul and spirit. Did you catch that? We are a soul and a spirit that lives within a body. A few other thoughts about us humans. God programmed us to worship, serve, and glorify Him. God gave us the capacity to reason, have creativity, and have moral discernment. We are sentient creatures with a consciousness. Bottom line, we have a special relationship with God. Now my thoughts. Yes, the AI companies are now in the midst of narrow or weak AI, but their goal is to break out of it and make inroads into AGI, general AI, and they are spending billions to make that happen. Beyond AGI, these companies want to delve into ASI, where it hits singularity and becomes self-aware. Just a reminder, AGI, if accomplished, would be capable of performing any intellectual task that a human can do. It would be able to think and reason like a human. Can it happen? I do not think so. Man is creating a soulless creature called a transhuman. AI would not possess a spirit or have a soul. A conscious AI is impossible and cannot respond to God's grace and glory. Some more. The AGI project ignores the problem of human brokenness, human sin, and human rebellion against God. The image of God cannot be explained or mimicked with a device. My final thought, if these companies were ever to get into AGI and approach ASI, we would have a Tower of Babel moment, and God would intervene and say, enough. So what about the Christian and AI? What can we do? Here are a few thoughts. We must open our eyes to advanced AI's potentially harmful effects. We must share the gospel with family and friends. We must pray for wisdom and discernment, pray for the deceived. Parents must share the risk of AI to their children, teach about the proper use of tech and the dangers of misuse. If appropriate, Christians need to consider speaking up on these things within the church at the appropriate time and the proper manner. And we must not allow these technological threats to breed fear in our hearts. Let me break that down. God is sovereign and governs the world. He is in control. Another, AI technologies do not change God's plan to glorify Himself in the salvation of sinners. Only human beings bear God's image. We are to use this time of change to be salt and light in our dark world. Final thoughts? Let me rephrase Isaiah 55 verse 8. God's thoughts are infinitely higher than the upper limit of anything possible by machine intelligence. No technology will thwart the plans of the King of Kings. The Christian will prevail. Amen? If you do not know Jesus personally, make that decision today.